We are live here at Petco Park as the Padres fall by a final score of 5-4 to the Colorado Rockies in this series opener in downtown San Diego. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Padres dropped to 22-22 on the year. Rockies improved to 13-28. Rockies have won 5 games in a row now. We have a lot to do on our post-game show. We'll have all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. May also have some additional post-game reaction coming from inside the Padres clubhouse and much, much more to do. No way around it here tonight. If it wasn't the most frustrating loss of the season for the Padres because of what happened in the final 3 innings, it is right up there through 44 games. You look at what went down in the final 3 innings of this game. After Jackson Merrill hit a leadoff home run in the bottom of the 7th inning to make it a 1-run game, the Padres trailed 5-1. To their credit, the 2-run shot by Profar in the 6th inning made it 5-3. Then the home run by Jackson Merrill to lead off the 7th inning made it a 1-run game. The Colorado Rockies were begging, and I mean begging, the Padres to win this game. At the very least, tie the game. The Colorado Rockies walked 8 batters. 8 in the final 3 innings of this game. The Padres did not score any of those walks. The Padres left the tying run on third base in the 7th inning after they had runners on first and second with nobody out. The Padres had the bases loaded in the 8th inning and could not tie the game. Then they had the bases loaded with 1 out. In the 9th inning, Manny Machado grounds into a game-ending 5-4-3 double play. 8 walks issued by the Colorado Rockies in the final 3 innings. The Padres win a total of 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position in the final 3 innings. And then in the 9th inning, Jalen Beeks walks 3 more, walks Kim, Tatis, Cronenworth to load the bases. The tying run is on third base with 1 out. The winning run on second base with 1 out. And Manny Machado swung at the first pitch and grounded into a game-ending double play. So just awfully frustrating the way this one went down in the final 3 innings. There is no way around it. 8 walks issued by the Colorado Rockies. In fact, after the home run by Merrill, the Padres didn't have another hit in this game. But again, the Rockies, and I'll keep saying the number, walked 8 batters, 11 total walks in this game issued by Colorado pitching. And the Padres could not find a way to tie this game down by 1. So take your pick of frustrating losses this season. Maybe it's the last game these two teams played in Colorado where the Padres had a 9-4 lead. Colorado scores, I think it was, 7 runs in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Colorado comes back to win that game regardless. That was frustrating. Well, the next time these two teams meet here at Petco Park here tonight, I think you could argue this one is equally as frustrating or maybe even more frustrating. The Padres they had all kinds of opportunities to, at the very least, tie this game and win this game. I said it to somebody on my way downstairs to do my post-game interview. I said the Rockies are begging them to win this thing. And they could not find a way. 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position in the final 3 innings. And again, 8 walks issued by the Colorado Rockies. So there's a lot of other stuff to break down in this game. Randy Vasquez had a rough outing, 3 2/3 innings, 5 earned runs given up. There was good in this game for the Padres. Adrian Morejon, Jeremiah Estrada, wonderful out of the bullpen today. Yuki Matsui was able to work out of a big-time jam in the 9th inning, keep it a 1-run game with a little help of a base-running mistake from the Rockies. Again, I mean, it's even beyond the pitching side of things for the Rockies. They have a guy doubled off second base when there's a guy in front of him at third base in that 9th inning. That was another mistake by the Rockies. So, man, the Rockies just in every way, shape, and form, they were trying to give this game away in the late innings, and the Padres simply just didn't take it. They didn't take advantage of it tonight. So very, very frustrating loss. This was a winnable game for the Padres, an opportunity for them to continue some momentum. Not that you can't. You obviously still have a chance to win this series, but bottom line is this. I mean, when you have an opportunity to win this kind of game against a team like the Rockies, you got to take advantage of it. And Padres could not tonight, and that's really where the story begins. We'll step aside here on the Padres Radio Network. When we come back, we will have all the radio highlights for you. We'll also hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. We also may have some additional post-game reaction coming from inside the Padres clubhouse. So a lot to do on our post-game coverage as the Padres fall in a one-run game here tonight by a final score of 5-4. Post-game show continues when we come back on the Padres Radio Network.
Baseball season is
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here tonight, the Padres fall 5-4 to the Colorado Rockies. A very frustrating loss for the Padres as they drop back to 500 at 22-22 on the year. Rockies have won 5 in a row. The red-hot Rockies, they're now 13-28. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we wrap this one up. We have a lot to do. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt coming up in just a matter of minutes, so stay tuned for that. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard. We'll get you involved with phone calls, tweets, DMs, YouTube comments, you name it. So we've got a lot to do as we wrap up this series opener between the Padres and the Rockies. But first things first, let's recap how this one went in downtown San Diego tonight.
What moments had the biggest impact on today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game recap on the Padres Radio Network.
Our starting pitching matchup of Randy Vasquez against Dakota Hudson, a scoreless first inning for both. We went to the second. The Rockies got a run across against Vasquez, a one-out walk, stolen base, eventually a two-out infield single brought that run home from third base. Rockies had a 1-0 lead. In the bottom half, the Padres tied it, courtesy of Xander Bogaerts.
Gets him going. This one hit a mile to left field. It got him going all right. off the facing of the second deck in left.
The game stayed tied until the top of the fourth inning. By the way, for Bogaerts there, his second home run in as many days. The exit velo on that, also impressive, 111.3 miles per hour off the bat. So we had a 1-1 game until the top of the fourth inning. There were runners on first and third base with one out for Alaris Montero.
40-70 season. Montero lines this one into left center field. He's found the gap. Merrill's got to go over and get it. Picks it up just in front of the warning track. Rogers has scored their waving cave. Here's Kim's relay to the plate, and in and out of the mitt of Campusano. Vasquez backing up, throws down to third, but Montero is in safely, and a two-run double for Alaris Montero has given the Rockies the lead right back. It is 3-1.
So with Montero on third base, the error charged to Ha-Sung Kim on the relay throw. Charlie Blackmon brought Montero home with a two-out RBI single. Rockies led 4-1. Blackmon then stole second base. Ezekiel Tovar hit a bloop single to score Blackmon. It was 5-1 Colorado, a four-run fourth inning for the Rockies. That was it for Vasquez. He couldn't get through the fourth inning. Adrian Morejon ended the frame. Morejon was really good in this game, a real bright spot in this one. He pitched the scoreless top of the fifth inning. He did the same in the top of the sixth inning. Padres still were down at 5-1, heading bottom six. Dakota Hudson had been really, really good to that point. Manny Machado drew a two-out walk against Hudson. Jerkson Profar was next.
Machado at first with two down. Padres trail by 4. First pitch swinging. Profar launches one deep to right field. This one gonna go. A two-run homer for Profar. And just like that, this is a 5-3 game in the bottom of the sixth.
That's all the Padres got in the sixth inning. They were down 5-3 going to the bottom half of the seventh. Rockies reliever Jake Bird on the mound. Jackson Merrill led off.
Claw their way back into this one. 1-0, hit in the air, deep to right field, way back, no doubter, Jackson Merrill. Padres have hit their third home run of the night, and we got ourselves a one-run ball game in the bottom of the seventh inning.
After the Merrill home run, Bird proceeded to walk both Luis Campusano and Ha-Sung Kim. The Padres had the tying and go-ahead runs on base with nobody out. Rockies manager Bud Black went to Justin Lawrence to face the top of the Padres lineup. Lawrence got Luis Ariz to ground into a double play. Fernando Tatis Jr. grounded out to end the inning. The tying run was stranded at third base. After Adrian Morejon pitched 3 1/3 scoreless innings out of the pen, Jeremiah Estrada entered for the top of the eighth inning. He retired the side in order. Justin Lawrence returned to the mound in the bottom half of the eighth inning. Padres still down 5-4. Lawrence walked Jake Cronenworth to start the inning. He then issued a one-out walk to Jerkson Profar to put runners on first and second base. Lawrence then struck out Xander Bogaerts for out number 2. He walked Jackson Merrill to load the bases, putting the tying run on third base and the go-ahead run on second. Luis Campusano dug in. He got the count to 3-0, but he flew out to center on a 3-1 pitch. The Padres stranded, the bases loaded, and still trailed 5-4. Yuki Matsui worked through the top of the ninth inning. Padres still trailed 5-4 going bottom 9 as Jalen Beeks took the mound for Colorado. More walks in the bottom half of the ninth inning. A leadoff walk for Ha-Sung Kim. A one-out walk for Fernando Tatis Jr. A one-out walk for Jake Cronenworth. And just like that, the Padres had the bases loaded, one out, trailing 5-4 in the bottom half of the ninth inning. The tying run 90 feet away on third base. The winning run on second base. Manny Machado dug in with the bases loaded.
First pitch. Machado swings, bounces it to third. McMahon to second, that's one. Rogers' turn to first is in time, and a game-ending double play. The Padres draw 8 walks in the last 3 innings. None of those came in to score, and the Rockies hold on for a 5-4 win.
Just a really, really tough loss for the Padres. No way around it here tonight. Jesse explained it perfectly. 8 walks in the final 3 innings. The Padres went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position in the final 3 innings. They just could not find a way after having 2 on with nobody out in the 7th inning, down by 1. The bases loaded with 2 outs and a 3-0 count on Luis Campusano in the 8th inning, down by 1. The ninth inning, bases loaded, 1 out, still down by just 1. They could not find a way to tie this game. And the final score, the Rockies 5, the Padres 4. Final totals, Rockies 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. Padres 4 runs, 4 hits, and 3 errors in this game. Padres again dropped to 22-22. Rockies improved to 13-28. The winning pitcher in this game at the end of the day was Dakota Hudson. The Rockies bullpen did their best to make sure he didn't get it tonight, but Hudson does get his first win of the year. The losing pitcher, Randy Vasquez, he drops to 0-2, and Jalen Beeks, he got the job done. 4th save of the season for Beeks. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park and hear some post-game reaction from Mike Shildt.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Presented by Sinley Food. Spice up your culinary life.
Mike, how disappointing is it to walk 11 times, have all those opportunities, fewer than 2 outs, and not be able to win?
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, it's typically you earn 11 walks and put you in a pretty good position. Just couldn't cash in on the big hit, so it just wasn't the opportunity for us to be able to scratch through at the big moment.
How much of a letdown or how deflating did it feel after the big weekend to come in and not put together very many hits, not get things done tonight? Was there any level of deflation?
Maybe for you.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Not you didn't feel that out there.
I didn't. I mean, listen, if you want to make some kind of correlation, I didn't know. I mean, I saw a group of guys going out there. We happened to get down. They got some hits. Got down 5-1, normal baseball game. Fought our asses off, competed, stayed focused, got our walks, couldn't get a big hit when we needed it. That's what I saw. There wasn't any deflation for me. I saw guys getting after it and running around the field and diving and making plays and playing as good a baseball as they could play.
Do you view the opportunities that you get yourselves into as a positive in that light, or is it kind of just disappointing to not be able to cash in when you had those chances?
I think I've explained it as both, right? I mean, we did work 11 walks, and clearly you'd like to get the big hit. We just weren't able to do it.
Jackson was he was tested a lot in center field today. What did you kind of make of him and kind of the way he's overall?
Oh, he's fantastic. I mean, had a big swing, 2 running plays towards the wall, double play there in the 8th. I thought he, based it the other way. Thought he played a very nice Jackson Merrill-esque game.
Here's another one you might find fairly obvious, but when your starting pitchers have given up 4 runs or more, it doesn't generally go well for you guys.
Yeah.
And your starting pitchers have been excellent for stretches, but then
Right.
they've had kind of an inordinate number of games like this. I know it was Randy Vasquez. He's out there battling, but that just seems like a hurdle that you guys are having trouble with.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to answer the question because we've had so many quality starts, and Randy was good last time out, and I can't remember a start where the starters haven't done their part. So I'm not sure how to completely answer that. I mean, he gave up some hits tonight. Wasn't really centered up too badly. They just had some balls that fall. I mean, Blackman's ball in the 4th fell, and Tovar chipped one there as well. Give him credit. But, as far as starting pitching goes, we've been in a pretty good spot, which is why we've won a fair amount of games lately. So, we'd like to have gone deep in the game. I also appreciate what our bullpen did for Morihone, Estrada, and Matsui to throw up, a bunch of zeros to give herself a chance to come back and win a game, which we fought like hell to do.
That was kind of going to be my next question. What did you make of Morihone tonight?
I thought he was fantastic. He was good again in that role. We're down, he comes in, he holds them at bay, throws up zeros. That's a big spot for us, and did a nice job for 3 1/3.
I imagine, obviously, in that spot in the 9th inning, you're pretty confident with Manny Machado at the plate, and he's delivered a lot in those spots before. But what have you kind of seen from him lately? He's going through a little bit of a tough stretch now. What are your kind of thoughts on where?
Yeah, I mean, we'll take Manny up there every day. It just didn't work out.
We haven't really seen Manny walk in like we were used to seeing him. Do you think the start to his season, the DHing, the arm care stuff, is that any leading into any of
You can't discount it. You can't rule it out. But better question for maybe Manny. But, I thought there for a stretch he was really on some barrels, hit the ball good to right center tonight, did bat before. So he's had some good at bats, just got a little on top of that one. That was it.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after tonight's game. Padres fall 5-4 to the Colorado Rockies in this series opener here at Petco Park. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we continue to wrap this one up. Before we go to break here, let's just talk a little bit about Manny Machado. He entered this game slumping. We talked about it on the pregame show. His last 15 games entering, or I should say at the end of tonight, Manny's batting 172 in 58 at-bats. In that span, he's only got 3 extra base hits over the course of his last 58 at-bats. So, look, there's no doubt about it. It's been a rough couple of weeks here for Manny, and obviously a rough way to end the game when he comes up with the bases loaded, 1 out, swings at the first pitch, and grounds into a game-ending double play. Look, I've already seen on social media a lot about swinging at the first pitch. Look, there's probably an argument to be made that as Jalen Beeks is walking the world there in the 9th inning and walks the bases loaded, that, maybe make him throw a strike first. With that said, when you're a guy that's on a Hall of Fame trajectory like Manny Machado, and you get a fastball first pitch, and look, I haven't seen or heard anything that Manny said after the game about it. Look, it may have been one of those situations where, hey, he's trying to get a strike over. In all likelihood you'll get a fastball there because he's walking so many guys, and Manny tried to take advantage, but unfortunately he grounded it right to third base, and he hit it fairly hard at 105 off the bat. But look, the one thing you can't do there is ground into a double play, and that's exactly what happened. So, look, a spot there where you want Manny to come through didn't happen. And again, questions there in the post game about, Randy Vasquez. And look, that was the early part of the story tonight. Look, if the Padres don't, make this a one-run game and the final 3 innings, the way they transpire, don't happen, I think we're probably a little bit more focused on Vasquez, and it was a tough outing for him. He got hit a little bit. 8 hits. There was some batted ball luck as well, some bloops, the RBI base hit by Blackman and Tovar. They were bloop hits. But look, he did, allow 5 earned runs in less than 4 complete innings. But look, that got overshadowed tonight by what happened in the final 3 innings. I mean, I think our colleague from Ben and Woods on the morning show, I think he put it pretty well. I want to pull it up from Ben here because I thought it was a fair tweet. Ben tweeted, has a team ever walked 8 times in 3 innings without scoring any of those runs? Look, it's you don't see that often, right, when you get that many opportunities. And it just, again, like I said in the opening segment, I mean, the Rockies were just trying to hand the Padres this game. And it was via the walks. It was via running into a double play in the 9th inning. I mean, they were just handing this game to the Padres on a silver platter, and they couldn't find a way to deliver. You'll see if the Padres can bounce back tomorrow, if they can still win this series. You certainly hope so because you feel like it's an opponent, especially at home, they should be able to beat. They should be able to win a series like this. But with that said, the Rockies are playing well. They've won 5 in a row. They just came off a sweep against the world champion, defending world champion Texas Rangers. And I'll leave you with one more thing before we go to break here. It is ironic because one of the things I talked about pregame today in our What to Watch For segment, if you listened, I talked about how the Rockies bullpen had been really good in the month of May. A 1.63 ERA in May so far, the second lowest ERA for any major league bullpen this month. And I actually talked about how good Jalen Beeks has been, their new closer, who, by the way, is now 4 for 4 in save opportunities since taking that role. The ironic part about it tonight was, despite the Rockies bullpen walking 7 batters between Bird, Lawrence, and 8 batters, of course, between Bird, Lawrence, and Beeks, they end up giving up just one earned run on the home runs of Profar. And with Lawrence and Beeks in particular, they both walked the bases loaded, and they gave up no runs in this game. So somehow, some way, the Rockies bullpen continues from just a run prevention standpoint to be really good, despite issuing 8 walks in this game in the span of 3 innings. So just a tough one, one that's just makes you shake your head, scratch your head, whatever tonight. Tough one here tonight for the Padres. We'll step aside here on the Padres Radio Network. When we come back, we'll continue to break this one down. We'll talk about some of the bright spots in this game. Certainly worth talking about what some of the bullpen did tonight for the Padres, and we'll also get you involved if you want to get a phone call in. Phone number is always 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. The phone number to call if you want to get involved that way. If you would rather get involved on Twitter or Instagram, you can do that as well. Tweet at me or Instagram DM me at SammyLev, SammyLev. If you want to get involved on the video streams, you can comment there as well, YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, and we'll cycle through some of that as we go along here. Final score, Rockies 5, Padres 4. More after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Sick of paying through the nose for bottled water delivery?
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Final score here tonight, Rockies 5, Padres 4, as the Padres drop this series opener to Colorado. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we wrap this one up. Well, we've done a lot of talking about the frustrations of this one tonight, and there was a lot of frustrating aspects to this game, especially the final 3 innings, no doubt about that. But let's, for a moment here, focus on one of the positives, one of the bright spots of this game. Let's do it with our relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher was able to come in and slam the door shut? It's time for the Relief Pitcher of the Game in support of the Jacobs and Cushman San Diego Food Bank, providing food assistance to local children, families, and seniors in need. To get help or give help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
1-2-3 fifth, a 1-2-3 sixth, now trying for a 1-2-3 seventh. A 1-0, little tapper up the first baseline, charged by Cronenworth. He's going to try and tag him himself. They're going to say he was out of the baseline, and he's called out to end the inning. Wow. That was very borderline, but the first base umpire, Lance Barrett, emphatic in his call, and it is a 1-2-3 seventh.
Adrian Morejon, no doubt about it here tonight, our relief pitcher of the game. Morejon was excellent in this game. 3 1/3 scoreless innings, no hits allowed, no walks. He struck out 3. He went 10 up, 10 down from getting the final out of the 4th inning through a 1-2-3 7. 10 up, 10 down. He was excellent in this game. Really nice job, but a good bounce back, too, for Morejon after his last outing. He walked a couple of guys, didn't go all that well against the Dodgers on Saturday. So, nice job by Morejon. More than nice. Excellent job at Morejon here today. 10 up, 10 down. He did it all on a grand total of 40 pitches. So, really good job by Morejon. Hopefully a sign of things to come for Adrian Morejon. No doubt about it here tonight, our relief pitcher of the game. And look, if the Padres can come through to tie and or win this game, there's no doubt that we're looking at that 3 1/3 scoreless for Morejon in a tremendous light here tonight, because then you're looking at it saying, hey, if he doesn't settle that inning down in the 4th and then keep it a 4-run deficit, then a 2-run deficit, then a 1-run deficit, or I should say really, I guess a 2-run deficit, you get my point. If he doesn't keep it a close game, do the Padres win this game? So, doesn't take anything away, obviously, from what Morejon did, but you almost feel like the Padres, in a way, wasted what he did here tonight, because they had the opportunity, obviously, to win it on so many occasions late. But great job by Morejon. Really good stuff, by the way, for Jeremiah Estrada in the 8th inning as well. 1-2-3 inning. He struck out 2, did it on a grand total of 13 pitches. Had a really nice conversation with Jeremiah on our pregame show. If you missed it earlier today. So we'll get that up on the podcast feed, the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast feed, hopefully tonight or by the latest tomorrow morning. But good stuff from Estrada. He continues to be very good. He is not allowed to run in the major leagues so far this year, and I talked about it pregame. I'm very, very interested to see if Jeremiah Estrada, with some of the shakiness of the setup guys in this bullpen, whether it's been Matsui or De Los Santos, even going back to the end of April, Wandy Peralta, I am very, very interested to see if Estrada starts to get some higher leverage opportunities. I really am, because the stuff is there, and for the most part, the results have been there as well. All right, let's go to the phones here, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Let's go to Matt calling in from Lakeside. Hi, Matt. You're on the Padres postgame show. How are you?
I'm not doing so well after this loss, man. I was at the game. This was a painful one. We like to give credit, when the players play really good, the player of the game. We have to give credit when some players cost us the game. I want to go back to the 8th inning, bases loaded, Campusano, when he moves out of the way when we're down by 1. You let that ball hit you, and then it's a tie ball game. Also, we have that many walks. We have we have that many players working the count, and it just takes one guy to swing at the first pitch. Like, let's be patient. I get it. The first pitch fastball might be the only fastball you see that at bat. But let's look at the situation. He just walked 3 guys. He can't throw 2 strikes in a row. And you have Profar, who's hottest player, batting behind you. So let's at least give Profar a chance and not just swing at the first pitch. If it was a reliever coming in, then fine. But he just loaded the bases. So let's not swing at the first pitch. Come on. I blame this one on Manny and Campusano from not taking one for the team. That's all I got.
Matt, appreciate the call. Look, I'm gonna disagree on Campusano on your point there. Okay, I think I know the pitch was at him, he jumps out of the way. I think it's very, very easy when you're sitting in the seats, when you're watching on TV, you're listening on the radio, whatever, when you are not in the box against the guy who threw it 96 miles an hour at Campusano. Okay, I think it sounds a lot simpler than it is to say let the ball hit you. The pitch is coming at you 96 miles an hour. Okay, your natural reaction is to hop out of the way, and we see it all the time. Guys get out of the way in a spot like that where a hit by pitch brings in a run. I understand it would tie the game. I do think that's a very unfair criticism of Luis. I do. I can't sit here and say, hey, 96 mile an hour sinker coming right at you, hang in there. I don't know that that's what goes on, just your natural reaction as a hitter. I don't know. Maybe people disagree with it. I just think that's an unfair criticism, quite frankly. I think it's a lot easier said than done to sit there and take it, or at least have the ability to not have the natural reaction to the pitch. Now, if you want to say, man, he should have let some pitches go by, at least taken a strike, that's fair when Jalen Beeks is all over the place and walking the world there. Look, the counter argument to that would be, hey, if you're Manny, you are Manny Machado, you have the ability to end the game with a base hit, you get a first pitch fastball. If you like it, take your crack at it. You could see 2 balls, it goes to 2-0, and then you ground into the double play. I think that's a more a more reasonable criticism of Manny. With the Campusano, not being hit by the first pitch, I can't get there with that. Now, look, the count went to 3-0, and he ends up flying out the center, so didn't work out. But I think it's a lot easier said than done. I got to be honest, to take a 96 mile an hour fastball and have the natural reaction of hanging in there. I just don't think that's the natural reaction to it when guys are up there in the box. And we see guys hop out of the way all the time at that stuff. So I think that's unfair. I do. All right, let's step aside. We'll get to more of your phone calls here in a little bit. 833-288-0973 if you want to get involved. Final score, Rockies 5, Padres 4. More after this on the Padres Radio Network.
Hey, guys, it's your old pal Woodsy for
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as the Padres fall tonight 5-4 to the Colorado Rockies. Good to have you with us on this Monday night. Tough one here tonight for the Padres, no doubt about it, as the Padres had opportunities galore. There were walks galore by the Rockies bullpen, 8 to be exact in the final 3 innings. Last 3 innings, Padres went 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. It was a rough one here tonight for the Padres. Rough ending. Certainly felt like a very winnable game here tonight. We'll get to more of your phone calls here in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. First, I'm thinking here, what do we want to do? Do we want to do player of the game, out-of-town scoreboard? You know what, Nick, back in the studio, while we have a moment here, let's get through the out-of-town scoreboard, tell you what's going on today around the major leagues.
Let's take a trip around the bigs and tell you about the scores you need to know in our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Meat, where great taste meets integrity.
We take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. Everything has gone final today. Blue Jays beat the Orioles 3-2, the final in 10. Phillies came back to beat the Mets 5-4. They scored a couple of runs in the 9th inning against Edwin Diaz to tie the game. They would win it 5-4 in 10 in New York. Tigers beat the Marlins 6-5 in Detroit. Spencer Torkelson a 2-run home run in that game for the Tigers. Rays beat the Red Sox 5-3 at Fenway Park in Boston. Braves beat the Cubs 2-0 in Atlanta. Pirates beat the Brewers 8-6 in Milwaukee. Guardians beat the Rangers 7-0 in Arlington. Astros beat the A's 9-2 in Houston. Cardinals beat the Angels 10-5 in Anaheim. Diamondbacks beat the Reds 6-5 in Arizona. Mariners beat the Royals 6-2 in Seattle. Dodgers beat the Giants 6-4 in San Francisco. The final in 10. And one postponement today. Nationals and the White Sox postponed in Chicago. They'll make that up as part of a doubleheader tomorrow. All right, that's a look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Monday night in the major leagues. Let's continue on the phone. Sear, I don't promise to have all the answers, but I am happy to hear your frustration tonight if you want to get it out. Let's go to Adam in Tierra Santa. Adam, you're on the Padres postgame show. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right.
Can you hear me? All right.
Yeah, I got you.
Just want to, so Manny Machado, why are you swinging at the first pitch with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th? I don't know. I feel like Manny Machado, just going down the line, too, you know who he kind of reminds me of going down the line is Albert Pujols. I was watching Charlie Blackmon go down the line, and he's quick for his age. He's about 37-year-olds pushing 40. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem like Manny Machado has it anymore. It's just, I just want to get your opinion on that.
Yeah, I mean Adam,
he can turn it around. Obviously, it's early in the season.
Adam,
that,
look, Adam, thank you for the phone call. Look, Manny's going through a slump right now. There's no doubt about it. He's not the fastest base runner in the world. I don't think that's a surprise. Anytime he hits a ball right to third base, double play situation, if the defense turns it quickly, it's probably going to be a double play. He's never, been the speediest guy, although didn't he have a stolen base the other night? I mean, look, he's not the speediest base runner. I don't think that's like breaking news. I think the concern more with Manny, whether you liked him swinging at the first pitch or not, and it sounds like a lot of people didn't tonight. And look, if you're going to swing at the first pitch, the only thing you can't do there is hit into a double play, and he did. The thing I think you're more concerned about is just the slump. I mean, again, I read the numbers earlier. The last 15 games, 170 extra base hits in that span. The OPS for the year isn't where you think it would be. 640 OPS at the end of tonight. So, look, you hope he turns it around. Padres need him. They need him in a really, really big way. So, again, I'm not that concerned about the speed right now. I mean, I don't think there's anything we didn't know, before tonight. He's not the speediest base runner. But, the one thing you do need him to do is just hit. And you hope he breaks out of the slump here soon. Let's go to Selma out of Lakeside. Hey, Selma, you're on the Padres postgame show.
Hello. How are you doing?
Hi. Doing well, Selma. How are you?
I'm kind of bump, but there is positives to this loss. We saw more at home go out there and hold them down. Also, yes, I understand where I was frustrated at Manny for swinging at the first pitch too after you saw a couple walks. But if you think about it, it's not just on Manny. We also saw Cronenworth went 0 for 4. Tatis went 0 for nothing. Kim. So we can't just put it on one guy. It's a team sport. Let's just go out tomorrow and win the next two.
Yeah, you certainly hope so, Selma, and appreciate the phone call. Look, you certainly hope so. There's still a chance to win this series, a very good chance with the guys you got on the mound here coming up, Cease and King. Look, if you win this series and you end this series 2 games above 500 and 5 consecutive series wins, I'll be fine with that. I mean, you'll say to yourself it should have been a sweep because you should have won the first game of the series based on the opportunities. But Selma, if they win the next 2, you'll take it, you'll run with it. You hit the road, and overall, you're looking for series wins. But look, now you got to win 2 in a row instead of capitalizing on opportunities here tonight. And then it takes a little pressure off the next 2. Not that the next 2 games are the the World Series, but hey, the Rockies at home, 4-game winning streak, now 5-game winning streak coming in or not, you want to find a way to beat them at home, especially with the Padres, playing some good baseball right now. Let's go to Jesus in Escondido. Hi, Jesus. You're on the Padres Radio Network.
Hey, how's it going, Sam?
Doing well.
Good. I think everyone's just relaying the same, message of today's game. It was a frustrating game, and it's almost like the Padres MO, where it's like that Dodger hangover when they have a great series against a great team over the weekend, and you're just kind of fired up. And then the lowly Rockies, who I don't know if it's them, the Marlins, or the White Sox have the worst record, and you're like, okay, easy win, but you're just very weary because it's the Padres. You're like, okay, they should demolish them, but we don't. And I think it was Mark or Dennis, so they said it, and I was saying it all game, was like, the Rockies are trying to give us this game away. They're handing it to us, and we're like, no, we're good. And I think the frustrating, obviously, there's a lot of blame on Manny, but I wouldn't say blame. I think Manny does this, and I'm not a pro ball player, obviously. We're fans, we watch it. But I think I really I could see it he wanted to hang that first one, end the game, be the hero. And I think sometimes some of the players want to play hero ball, bases are loaded, and I think it's just take. That pitcher he could not find the strike zone, and it was just take. And I think that's where everyone's frustrated. But if Manny hits a home run on that, or a base hit.
Yeah, well, right. Yeah, Jesus, look, I'll let you continue here. I think, again, back to the first pitch thing, okay? If Manny ends up attacking the first pitch there and, smacks a line drive into left and they win the game, or hits one over the fence for a grand slam and they win the game, we're probably sitting here on the post game and saying, you know what, that was a great approach by Manny. You got a guy that can't, find the plate. You're getting a fastball first pitch, and he took care of it, and he was actually on attack mode. That's probably what we're saying, okay?
Yeah.
If it works out. So if you're going to have any issue tonight with Manny, to me, it's more about hitting into the double play to end the game rather than the fact that it happened on the first pitch. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To me, the result is what is more frustrating than the fact that he swung at the first pitch. Because I will tell you, if it went better on the first pitch, we're probably sitting here and talking about what a great approach it was. So these things go both ways. But continue. I'll let you finish.
Yeah, and so the one thing, because a lot of people are saying the same thing, and we're all kind of down. I think it was just it was kind of like an ugly game. There's some defensive errors, when Merrill and Tatis kind of went for it and just they just didn't communicate. I think Kim had an error too. So it's just an ugly game, and it's fine. But the positive that I get out of all of this is, this team is completely different than last year. And I think I remember I did call last year and we're like, what is our identity? We had no identity last year. We were just kind of in the slumps. But there's a lot of fight, and that's the thing. A game like this last year would have been it probably still would have been 4-1, 6-1. There was no fight, no comeback. And even though it didn't go our way, we've been in it. And even games where we haven't gone our way, but we've come back. We've had a lot of comebacks this year. We've got those grand slams out of the way. We got the extra inning games out of the way. I mean, I'm really excited about this team. It's just one lowly, ugly game, and that's fine. But I'm still positive. Like I said, it was a bad game, and we're okay. Frustrating, but yeah, we're okay.
Well, Jesus, thank you for the phone call. Yeah, look, was it frustrating? Of course, but you're right. It's one game. I feel like the last couple of years, doing the post-game show every night, taking your phone calls, communicating with the fans on social media. We do this every night. We've done it for the past 2+ seasons. I feel like there's been a lot of really riding the highs and lows day to day. When we all sort of know deep down, despite the frustrations of last season, we still sort of know deep down it's a pretty long journey, and you ultimately look at it in the macro, and the story gets told day by day, but obviously it's a long journey. We're a quarter of the way through the year. But look, I don't know. This morning, when they beat the Dodgers 2 out of 3 and they had won 4 consecutive series, I was hearing from a lot of happy people who had a lot of belief in this team. So I don't think one span of 3 innings that was really frustrating erases all that. Was it frustrating what happened in the final 3 innings tonight? Absolutely. But the beauty of baseball, you come out tomorrow, you try to win this series. You try to set up a rubber game tomorrow. We'll see if they can do it. All right, we'll squeeze in a couple more phone calls here. I do want to continue on with our regular segments. Let's tell you about our player of the game tonight.
Which player had the biggest impact on today's game? Let's find out who is today's player of the game. Presented by Valley View Casino and Hotel. Catch every game at Patties and Pints. Plus, enjoy $4 beer every Thursday. Visit valleyviewcasino.com today.
Our player of the game tonight, I mean, obviously I could stay Padres tonight and give it to, one of the guys who had home runs. Merrill had 2 hits. He's been good lately after a 3-hit day yesterday. I got to tell you, though, it's one of those nights where I don't know if I can go with a Padre with the way it ended. I'm sort of almost leaning, and we gave Morahone relief pitcher of the game, so sometimes I got to split these up. And I hate to say it, and it might not make you Padres fans happy out there, Dakota Hudson was good in this game. I mean, he came in a 6+ ERA, and he was able to hold the Padres to a single run through 5 innings. He's able to hold them to 3 runs through nearly 6 complete innings. So you could go with Hudson. Montero had 3 RBIs in this game for the Rockies. I'll give it to Montero. We'll give it to Montero. 3 RBIs. RBI base hit in the second. 2-run double in the fourth. It's hard to give it to a Padre tonight with the way it ended. So we'll give it to Alaris Montero tonight of the Rockies. I know. One of those nights. Trust me, as you know, it never gives me pleasure to hand out player of the game to somebody else. But I don't know. I don't know that I could go with a Padre batter after, and by the way, Jackson, walked to load the bases in that 8th inning. I think he would be the pick for the Padres tonight, or maybe Profar. He walked as well to help load the bases in that 8th inning. But we'll go with the first baseman for the Rockies tonight, Alaris Montero. 3 RBIs, certainly was very impactful in this game, and helped the Rockies build a 5-1 lead, which ultimately they were able to hold on to. And they go on to win it 5-4. We'll step aside here on the Padres Radio Network. When we come back, may squeeze in another phone call or 2, and we'll wrap things up. You'll hear our play of the game. Get you ready for the middle game of this series tomorrow. Rockies win it 5-4 over the Padres. More post-game coverage after this on the Padres Radio Network.
For 70 years,
Our post-game show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Good to have you with us on this Monday night. Padres fall 5-4 to the Colorado Rockies. We'll hear our play of the game in just a moment. I do want to squeeze in a couple more phone calls here. We'll get through them quick. We've got a couple of pretty regular callers here, so I want to reward them, get them in here before we wrap things up here tonight. We'll start here with Katie in Oceanside. I think, Katie, you're mad at me because you tweeted at me, Katie, don't say Red Hot Rockies. I'm sorry, they've won 5 in a row, Katie. What do you want me to do? What's up?
Oh, my gosh, I could never be mad at you. Are you kidding me? No. You know what? I'm not even going to hash over the Manny at bat. We're all mad about it. What I am more, and you know I am number one optimist. You'd never see me in a bad mood in the loft.
Yes.
What I'm more concerned about tonight is the top of the lineup. Like,
okay.
You know, Vasquez kept us. I'm over Vasquez. The end of that game, the fact that the top of the lineup went over the game is my concern. It's we can't just keep giving up free base runners. We got to get these guys lit up. We know they're capable. So really that's my focus. It was beyond the pitching tonight. It was how do we get the top of this lineup in sync together?
Yeah, look, Katie, it's a fair point, and thank you for the phone call. Top 4 in the lineup tonight. You zoom out at the game. Arise, Tatis, Cronenworth, and Machado went a combined 0 for 15. And that's against Dakota Hudson. Look, I think you break down the frustration in this game into really 2 parts of the game. The first is that you had Dakota Hudson on the mound, who you would think the Padres should be able to handle better than they did here tonight. Look, Profar got him late, but through the first 5 innings, he gave up 1 run. He was really, really good. I mean, again, no disrespect to Dakota Hudson, but just the numbers show, he should be somebody you can handle, and they didn't. And then obviously what happened in the last 3 innings, that's a whole different part of the frustration of tonight. But look, Katie, yeah, it's going to be hard for this team. If you just zoom out at the box score of this game, it will be hard for this team to win games on a night where the top 4 of Arise, Tatis, Cronenworth, and Machado go a combined 0 for 15. I mean, that's a fair point. Let's continue on here. We go to Spring Valley. It's Renee on the Padres postgame show. Hi, Renee.
Hey, Sammy. Good evening, man. Yeah, I've been on hold for a minute, and when I call, I have something to say, and then I listen to calls, and then I say, oh, they already said what I wanted to say. But
it's okay.
Going back to the blame game. Oh man, you can't blame. My grandkid. He's playing Cap League baseball. Say it's a team. We win or we lose as a team. It's a team. It's a team. And then, when they talk about, man, you should have done, or, I wish I could say to everyone calling and criticizing and so mad at, people could get so mad at a ball player. And I just wonder, why aren't you playing third base for the Padres and hitting in that position? And then you have somewhere to criticize him for what he's not able to accomplish. But it really came down to this. I mean, think about this. The spin on the ball, the swing on the bat, and did it just catch the upper third of the bat and turn into a double play ending? And, we're all, sad. Or did he hit it on the bottom? That thing is spinning and moving, and, oh, my God. Come on, people, take it easy. Are we not entertained? This is beautiful, baby. We got it. If we win the series, none of this matters, right?
Well, look,
moving on.
Yeah, Renee, thank you for the phone call. And Renee always has a positive outlook on it. Look, I don't think if you win the next 2 games of this series, it totally erases losing the game tonight. Do I think you take it and you run with it and you say, hey, 5 straight series wins and you're 2 games above 500 and you have a 4-2 homestand? Look, we're living in the future here because the 2 games haven't happened, but I think you'll take it. You'll probably also say it should have been a sweep based on the opportunities tonight. So we'll see if the Padres can bounce back tomorrow. Appreciate the phone calls from everybody. I think we covered a lot. I understand the frustration out there. Absolutely. we'll see if they can bounce back tomorrow. But appreciate the interaction on social media, the phone calls. We've had a lot of phone calls the last few days, both win and lose. So appreciate everybody tuning in. This is what it's all about. So we'll see if the Padres can bounce back tomorrow. And we'll tell you more about tomorrow's game here in just a second. First, let's hear tonight's play of the game.
What was the crucial play that determined who came out on top? This is today's Play of the Game, presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
Claw their way back into this one. 1-0, hit in the air, deep to right field, way back, no doubter, Jackson Merrill. Padres have hit their third home run of the night, and we got ourselves a one-run ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning.
Play of the game tonight, we'll give it to Jackson Merrill. Hey, the home run made it a one-run game, put the Padres in a terrific position to win this game, and that was before the 8 walks by Rockies pitching in the final 3 innings. But look, I'll tell you what, Jackson is playing well again. Look, and what I like about Merrill, and just going off the play of the game here, he had an 0 for, he went 0 for during a span of 3 games. One of the games, though, he only had 1 at bat. That was that one game in Chicago where Profar got taken out for a Zokar. That was the loss in Chicago. But even going back to late April, some of the numbers for Jackson had dropped. Like, the average went from 318 on April 24th. It dropped to 268 as of the Saturday, or I should say the Friday against the Dodgers. It's now up to 291 again because he's had a 3-hit game yesterday, a 2-hit game here today. What I think, beyond everything, by the way, and he's played a really good center field. He had a great catch tonight. He was busy in center tonight, and he continues to play a very, very solid center field, which is very impressive in and of itself, considering before spring training he had never played there. So it is impressive. What I like right now about Jackson, there's a lot to like here in the first month and a half of his major league career. I like that, he goes through a bit of a slower stretch, goes through some struggles, but he doesn't allow, to this point, the struggles to become really, really extended slumps. And I think you got to like that. I do. I think the fact that he's bounced back the last couple of days with a couple of multi-hit games, these are really, really encouraging and good things to see from a 21-year-old, a guy who just turned 21. And look, you zoom out a little bit. He's played 41 games. He's got a .291 batting average. Again, for somebody in Jackson playing a brand new position, as limited upper minor league experience as he had entering this season, I continue to be very impressed. I think it's very encouraging the way he again, has not allowed some of the scuffles that he's had after a terrific start to really grow. He's bounced back nicely here in a couple of spots. So good stuff today from Jackson, no doubt about it. Had the home run, long home run for Jackson. How far did that go? I'll tell you that before we wrap things up here. How far did that home run go? Because Merrill got all of it. Now my internet's not working. I may leave you hanging here. No, I got it here. Let's see. Oh, we got it. 397. Look farther to me. Deep to right. All right, Jackson Merrill, play of the game. The home runs make it a one-run game. We end on a high note on an otherwise frustrating night for the Padres. Looking ahead to tomorrow. Same time, same place. 6:40 p.m. first pitch tomorrow. EcoWater SoCal Padres pregame show at 5:40. Pitching matchup tomorrow, right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for the Padres. Right-hander and former Padre draft pick Cal Quantrill on the mound for the Rockies. First pitch again at 6:40, and our pregame coverage begins at 5:40. Certainly hope you can join us then. As always, if you missed any of our postgame show, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt. Search it up on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. Or if you would rather just go on YouTube right when we're done. You can get it all on demand, and you can go to the different spots you want. Maybe a little bit hard to navigate, but feel free to do that as well. A number of different options now where you can go back and listen to any or all of our post-game coverage, along with our pregame segments as well. Taking a look at the final totals here tonight. For the Rockies, 5 runs, 9 hits, no errors. They left on 5. For the Padres, 4 runs, 4 hits, 3 errors. They left on 9. Winning pitcher Dakota Hudson, who improves to 1-6. Losing pitcher Randy Vasquez, who drops to 0-2. The save goes to Jalen Beeks, his 4th of the season. Time of game in this one here tonight, 2 hours and 44 minutes, and the crowd at Petco Park, 34,458. Once again, first pitch tomorrow at 6:40. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Nick Danucci, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night. Again, the final score, the Colorado Rockies 5 and the San Diego Padres 4. We'll talk to you tomorrow from Petco Park on the Padres Radio Network. Have a good night, everybody.